All right, y'all. Let's get into the falling away and the brainwashing and how Lucifer is rising into position and how we can see the beginning declared from the end and see the Bible being played out in a backwards fashion, because you do live in creation, folks. The creation is done. All right? We're living in some world that is and is not and is to come. All right? Brainwashing. The story of this kind of shows you the prince of the power and Satan coming into position. Okay? And there's a lot of dualities going on here, and I can't get into all of them just because I got to keep the videos under a certain amount of time for them to download within a reasonable amount of time, or for them to download, period. Okay? They don't like what I say getting out. So, the brainwashing today. This all started with a prince of the power of the air coming back into position. And this prince of the power of the air started with the printing press. And this lets men see the prince, okay? And this prince allows men to scatter seeds of the spirits of men. And it allows men to spread these seeds in a way where man cannot test that man, because before the seeds were spread man to man, so you could test all the men you're getting the seeds from, okay? And now you can't test any of those men, okay? And now we have the reviews, the tips, right? And those tips are the pit backwards, all right? Now, I'll do another video on the tip later and tie in some other stuff, okay? But the brainwashing started with the prince of the power of the air in the newspapers and the books, okay? And this allowed men to spread their ideas and their doctrines and their heresies throughout the world to where men could not test these things being told, all right? This is the first step. After that, you saw radio and TV come in, and then but you saw the industrial age rise, okay? All these work in tandem, and they work together to build up a structure, all right? Now, the radio came out. The radio allowed men to take all these seeds that they've learned from the books that they can't test, and allowed them to spread them on the radio, and allowed men to spread other seeds on the radio, okay? And this allowed things to be spread even faster, okay? Now, people used to read the Bible, all right? So history says, and with this, they used Bible as entertainment, and people wrote books on the Bible or whatever. You'd have pastors write sermons like Charles Spurgeon and pass them along to other pastors, and they spread these seeds or whatever, okay? Or people would hear these pastors and they would just like hearing them, and they would want to go and hear them again, okay? Anyways, different things gave rise to these different seeds being spread throughout the world, okay, that you can't test. Because before, man used to just have the Bible. You'd read the Bible. You would, if you talked to a man, you could talk and actually converse and test him. You would maybe have an argument or whatever, right? Your spirits would wrestle. But you can't do that anymore. You just have to be spoon-fed these things, okay? And the Holy Spirit used to feed men, because that used to be their source of the Bible, because it's a spiritual book. It has to be discerned by the Spirit, okay? So what the newspaper did, or what the books did, or the radio, and even now the TV, they use the Bible for entertainment purposes, per se, right? And that's the entertain, the grabbing, and the men on the cross. because the spirits are the channels and all these things. The spirits, the streams of life and all these things are working through men, and they work through the pipes, the vocal cords of men, and these things, folks. So the falling away, the men who crept in unaware, that happened hundreds years ago. Okay, 100 years ago or longer. All right, or whenever the newspaper came out, whatever the history of the printing press is, that's when the falling away actually, like, the first seeds of the falling away started. Okay, then the radio was like another step of that, and the radio runs on electricity, which is the lightning, and then it has the ground wire, which is the ground, right? And at first they had the electricity, and then they created the ground afterwards. So it'd be like the king coming in and then having his son afterwards, right? And then you have the U.S. government coming in and then forming their son afterwards. All right, and that son is the president. He goes forth, he creates the man, the male and female, after his own image, and he creates the culture of men. Everything's happening in a different way, and then you're getting up to the point where that spirit of the millennium, the AI spirit, is coming into position, and you have his son from the ground called Satan, the orange man, the Manhattan, the Trump man, okay, the last trump, the trumpet, the little horn that will set up in Texas. So all these things are playing out all in front of y'all, and those who can understand dark sentencing and have the knowledge of the world and the occult and the Bible and pharmakeia and how the other side of the world works, which means the dark side of the world, the more you know about everything, the more the stuff I say to you is going to make sense, okay? Without all these little things, you're going to have gaps, okay? And you got to know science, you got to know mythology, you got to do your homework, okay? And I've been doing my homework in the library on my own since I was a teen, all right? And y'all can go back and listen to the story, all right? You go to college, you're not getting any knowledge, okay? That's fake knowledge. That is knowledge of the beast to keep you brainwashed by the beast. And how do you know this? Look around the world today, okay? Look at the schools, what they're teaching, what they're allowing, okay? Y'all have given yourself over to the beast, and the world is going to a place without form and void, okay? And man is going into a place without form and void, and a lot of them are already there when you look at their eyes, and they're already there with their depressions and their anxieties and their medications, and they're already in the hell on earth. They're already making the male and female after his image, and they're following the doctrines of men and destroying men and making man the beast man without even knowing it. And it's happening through a gradual process, and as Lucifer comes to reign, Jesus will come to reign. But the problem is the people they don't believe the Bible, okay? Because there's many things in the Bible that you can tell pastors, so-called, that gets rid of their job when you're in end times, okay? Because it is the falling away. And all the pastors, fundamental, non-fundamental, denom, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It doesn't matter what religion. It doesn't matter what segment of Christianity. It doesn't matter who. They have all gone the falling away. They're all part of one of the 7 churches that have fallen away. And those 7 churches are tied to the 7 days of creation. And if you notice that there's day 6 man and day 7 man. Okay? Most of the world is day 6 man. Not too many is day 7 man. Okay? However, day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 man. That is what most of the world is turning into. Alright? And that is where you get the beast system rising. And the kingdom is probably just going to be where you're ruling a bunch of dumb people. I mean, the way the parable's running right now, it's or that's part of the kingdom right now on earth is where you're just, the king spirit is moving through you, and you can see all through the dumb stuff that people are doing. Okay? And the church today has been blinded in one aspect because they don't understand spirituality. They don't understand spirits. They don't understand, a lot of the world doesn't understand spirituality. All these spiritual gurus or whatever, garbage. Garbage. They're all garbage. And I've even tried to talk to some of them. They won't talk to me. I've tried to reach out to all these people. Plethora of people. They will not talk. They do not want my message out. Pastors, they won't debate me. They won't talk to me. Why? Because I expose them with actual light that people actually get, and it connects all the dots. It's too much light for them. That it just breaks them down. I've had pastors in my chair, and I've had Baptist pastors in my chair, and they just break down, and I have to change the subject because they can't handle it, dude. And everything they say to me, I got the answer. I have the answers now. So any of you people want to dispute this, come on with it. But whatever, you ain't going to. Why? Because you're filled with darkness. You don't want to be proven wrong live or recorded or whatever, right? If we pre-recorded, it won't even go out. But y'all are all brainwashed and you can't see it. And y'all are all wearing suits and ties to work to show that you're brainwashed. Your suits and ties that you're wearing to church, that is one sign you are brainwashed, that you work and you spread doctrines of the beast, okay? And there's no denomination that is 100% right, okay? There's one denomination that has salvation right, but they have most everything else wrong. They think Adam's the first man. They think there's a Trinity. When the Bible speaks of both, he's 3 in 1 and 1 in 3, okay? And they teach Jacob's line is blessed and all this weird crap that's not in the Bible, okay? But why do they believe this? Because they have had the men crept in unaware long ago, and they have been programmed. And the more you've been programmed, the more you've been programmed by one light without the other light, the less you will wake up, okay? The reason why I can wake up is because I grew up in church. I got saved when I was 8 years old. There's nothing I can do to lose my salvation, no matter how I live. And I've prayed for the information that I have. And I've seeked out the information that I also have, okay? The dreams and stuff that I had with the numbers has just helped me connect all the things that I've ever known, and all the things that I've learned, and all the things I continue to learn. And it's also fed me information that I didn't know before then, okay? So the falling away is before you. And all the churches are wrong, and we'll end the video now.